So let me start at the beginning of the year. New Year's resolution. No TV watching, now following the news. Okay, so I'm here picking up instead a language to learn. Korean. I have all these things stuck on my wall, vocabulary. Apology to the Chinese again. I could have picked Chinese Mandarin that's spoken by more people than any other language in the world, but Korean has a simpler writing system. Okay, so I'm all busy doing other things than following the news, and a few weeks ago I start noticing some abnormal things, or people seem to act a little differently, and when I find some store shelves closed, I decided to look at the news. So I go to my old TV, I bang it a couple of times in the back, and it comes on. News, our president. And then I realized, okay, so the impeachment didn't get rid of him. That's great. That's great. So we have a president, the same president. God bless him. God bless America. And, well, anyway, he is talking about the Chinese virus, and takes me quite a lot of time to figure out what the little history. It's only a few months old, I think, and right away, like the first day, I keep watching, mostly Googling things and looking at news there, and of course, a lot of misinformation on both sides, both the fake news and then the misinformation. Yes, I think two different sides call it different names, misinformation or the fake news. Yeah, there's a lot of it out there. Or anyway, the very first one is that masks actually make it worse because the viruses get stuck on it, or there is an explanation why, but the viruses get stuck on it. And I understand that in the microscopic level, especially if we go down to subatomic levels, quantum mechanics, I had to write this word down, I don't know. What we are used to seeing, the physical laws are totally different. I mean, I understand that if some subparticle, there is two slits, if a particle somehow through the slit makes it to the other side, it actually went through not just one hole, but on both holes, or some real unexpected things. So, but I don't understand that level. Hopefully the virus is bigger than subatomic, made up of a few atoms at least. But I can only think in terms of the global things, what we see. And as for me, if the shit hits the fan, I really prefer it to hit the mask and my glasses. I don't know how you feel about it. And then I can throw this in the trash or sanitize it, but that's my view. I always think I'm so logical, and probably I'm wrong half the time, just like some of the other viewers, not you. No, I will say some stupid things here, maybe even on purpose, and that will be so you can see yourself in the mirror, how stupid you can be. No, I'm not talking to you personally. Well, it's going to be difficult to know whether I'm talking you personally or the other, because there is other viewers than you, the stupid hair. So I'm talking to them and to you, because I can see you are open-minded, you look at both sides, and then you decide, make up your own opinion. But those other viewers that I also have to address as you, so bear with me. Sometimes I will talk to you, and sometimes I will talk to the other viewers, the mob who just follows things and parrots what they hear in the news or in the misinformed news, on both sides. So I rather have the virus land on and anything else than my lips or my nose or my eyes. Personal opinion. So just 2 days ago, the governor of my state, Colorado, ordered a shutdown of all non-essential businesses, including churches. And, well, there is a few of us who demand an explanation, like the numbers. The numbers, yes. I mean, the numbers are still low, so I think we need to wait until the numbers grow, like in Italy and China. And when the numbers hit, 800 deaths, then you have a good explanation why you're closing. But with these low numbers, you don't have an explanation. As for the churches, I do believe that if you pray at home, God still hears you and listens.
Unanswered.
Oh, that's my sister. She likes to interrupt. And your prayers will be answered. She said unanswered. Wants me to alienate people. Anyway, lost my thought. Then I hear other arguments that, heck, the statistics are clear. The death rate is so similar to the death rate of the regular seasonal flu. So what's the big deal? Well, death rate, the death rate, I mean, if it's the same as the flu, what's the difference? Why does the World Health Organization calls it a pandemic? And here is the statistics that show it's nothing more than the flu. And being a thinking man like you, I do a little thinking, and I'm not smarter than you, but looking at the news, I realized that there is another statistic number there, too. Okay? Not a single number. Everything has another side. Every coin has the other side. So, another number, there is a difference between this pandemic and the regular flu, in that on the regular flu, you don't need so many people in intensive care. Intensive care means the guy would die if he wasn't in expert doctors' hands. Ventilators. There is not the percentage of people in the regular flu who need ventilation is way lower. So this is another number that we can ignore or not know, but yes, there is hundreds of thousands of people who would have died wasn't it for intensive care. So now to the President Trump's campaign. They really need $35 donations, as many as they can get, to make sure that our president will win a second term and finish his important job. We all know that needs to be done. Oh yes, okay, and I actually looked at the Bernie Sanders campaign too, and there is a big difference. Well, they both ask for donations, okay? Like the people who go to the food bank, they ask for donations, and so they follow in the footsteps of the president and the politicians, or should I say they sink to the level of politicians. They go to the food bank and ask for donations, just like our politicians. Anyway, at least in the Trump campaign, they offer you things for your donations. They offer you a raffle, for example, to have dinner, all paid, travel paid. You enter a raffle if you donate, or paid travel to have dinner with Mr. Trump, which would be a once in a lifetime occasion for us. And sometimes if you hold back a little, you don't have the money, they will offer you 2 or even 3 entries, kind of help you get a little edge over other donators, so you have a bigger chance of winning the raffle. And in fact, the latest I received was, it's actually, I don't even know who I would. Anyway, the latest was with Melanie Trump at dinner. And I don't know if I prefer one. Which one would I prefer? Prefer Melanie Trump. Oh, and then, of course, there is the bad guys who will pick this up as, oh, no, the dirtiest freaking minds. The other day they told me that look, the president is pimping his wife for $35. What the hell is that? And I go, well, how is it pimping? It's a raffle to have dinner with Melanie Trump. Oh, but he knows you. He was a playboy himself. That after dinner, you don't just say, thank you, goodbye, but you grab him by the, and expect something more. He was anyway, that's dirty things. That's dirty. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to run out of things to say, but here is one suggestion to all Americans, because we are so divided. Now, families sometimes make this decision that, you know what, today, no blaming anybody, for one day, no complaining. Now, to all the talk show hosts and to all the reporters and politicians, why don't we have one day when you don't blame the other side? Just one day. Tomorrow you can double down and bring up everything. For one day, we don't blame the other side for anything. We don't complain anything they did. I don't think we need to throw in compliments, but, well, let's go for one day by the rule. If you have nothing good to say about that politician, then don't say anything. Yeah, You heard that from your mother. Um, the other thing is, that's the last thing I'm going to do, is, now, again, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to the other side. The other side, the dumb ones who parrot whatever they hear and who don't hear the other side, who are closed-minded. Because it's actually human nature that once you make up your mind, whether about religion, politics, once you make up your mind, you close it. No, that's not you. You are open-minded. You are totally open-minded, but the other side. And if you want to understand the other side, what motivates them, and why they can't hear or understand your argument, and why they get so damn excited about the lies that the other candidate gives. The explanation is really confirmation bias. Most of you know what it is, but those of you who not should look it up. Google it or Yahoo it. Confirmation bias. That's what drives and closes the mind of the other side. And, okay, you may have to hold up a mirror on the side here to be able to read it correctly. Well, that's for today, session number 1. I'm Paul. I promised I introduce myself from Colorado. Haven't shaved for a couple of weeks, ever since I turned that TV on and saw the news, what's going on. What's more, the apology to the Chinese folks in this country, I sincerely against naming it the Chinese virus. I'm totally against it. I know you can say, well, it was from China, so why not call it the Chinese virus? But if you work with a Chinese fellow and you know his name, I'm sure you call him Wong and not, hey, Chinaman, because that's prejudice. So calling something that has an official name and everybody in the world, every leader and everybody calls it the coronavirus 19, should not be called by an ethnic name. Have a great day.